Welcome to Sacred Awakenings, a community that supports spiritual exploration in order to awaken our greatest potential. Our Sunday gatherings are a time we set aside for ritual and ceremony as a community to enrich our own spiritual lives with the support of other open-hearted people. We welcome you to our circle. Our featured speaker this week is Reverend Nicole Losie. We also have John and Lori Lefevre Johnson inspiring us with our music, and the topic is the body as a temple. Enjoy the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am.
Let us connect with our breath and set our intention. Coming together, we create a collective divine heartbeat. We affirm truth and peace abide here. We gather to remember and recognize the divine mystery within. In our sacred circle, we honor the awakenings of each spirit who enters.
Aramaic Lord's Prayer. From an ancient text in Aramaic translated directly into English. O birther of the cosmos, focus your light within me, make it useful. Create your reign of unity now. Your one desire then sets as ours. As in all light, so in all forms. Grant us what we need each day in bread and insight. Loose the cords of mistakes binding us as we release the strands we hold of others' guilt. Do not allow surface things to delude us, but free us from what holds us back. From you is born all ruling will, the power and the life to do, the song that beautifies all. From age to age it renews. I affirm this with my whole being.
Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Peace fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. God fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Health fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Life fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Lori and John, for your ministry of music and the blessing that your music brings to the world. Today's discussion highlights an aspect of our true nature, that we are spiritual beings meant for connection. Specifically, we're looking at connection with the body. We come into our lives connected to our bodies. We're born with the sole purpose of growing and developing. We have the ability to recognize and communicate our needs. And we do this through crying. And we sleep a lot in our early days, of course. But we make our physical needs of hunger or thirst be known through our communication. And we're aware of these needs, and we're aware of our bodily comfort, and we are aware of when we need to have our bodily comfort needs met. And over time, we become aware of the other, the one who's always there, the one to whom we call out. We communicate our need for stimulation and connection with our caregivers. And over time, we learn to connect with our senses. All of this is known. We're us and our bodies. And we begin to connect with our senses, and then we begin to take up residence inside our bodies. I think that our essence begins small and localized. And then we expand and fill up all the space inside our bodies. We begin to become aware of our bodies a little differently once our needs are met and once we're growing. We begin to move our limbs, and we learn to roll over, and we begin to learn that we can sit up, and then we stand up, and then we begin to gain control over our bodies so that we start to stumble along on our first steps. And as we begin to grow, and as we begin to awaken to our bodies on a deeper level, we begin to move. We gain control over our bodies. We come to consciousness later, but initially, we're in our bodies and we're working to have our bodily needs met. And then eventually, we begin to enter the realm of the mind, and we become less connected to our bodies. And that disconnection begins to happen. And I like to question, is it early in those first moments when we begin to develop awareness of ourselves as distinct beings, when we have that awareness of the other, our caregivers, we then also begin to have an awareness of ourselves as distinct beings. Does the disconnection happen when we begin school and we enter the development of intellect and knowledge? Does this disconnection happen from socialization, nature, nurture, all of the above? Yeah. Actually, there are so many reasons why we begin to disconnect or separate from our bodies. And when we're disconnected, we may take advantage of the body. For example, we might overestimate the body's abilities. Like, I want to run a marathon, but I don't really want to train for it. I don't need to train for it. Or I want to get into the Olympics, but I don't think I need to have such a disciplined routine of daily living. I should just be able to try out and get on the team. We overestimate what our bodies can do sometimes. We're not connected to be able to say, oh, here's where I need to work. Here's where I need to continue to grow. We might also underestimate the body's abilities. So if we don't ever really try anything, we don't know what it's capable of. And so we don't know that we can do a lot of things. So it's easy to become stagnant and just not really try. And sometimes we cause our own disconnect between our mind and our body. And we can do this through addiction. And it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be gambling, it might be collecting things. Sometimes we have an addiction to experiences. We have that energy boost, that adrenaline boost when we do really exciting things. So we go out there and try to do really exciting things all the time. And sometimes we escape into work or fantasy. We might escape into study. So if we find something very interesting, we'll just deeply focus on that. And we don't always have that connection with our bodies. We don't always really know where we are in space and time. And that is a separate sense apart from the five senses. Knowing where your body is in space and time is a whole different thing. And we can escape, we can stay in the realm of the mind. Sometimes we have a focus on the body, like in a vanity or image kind of way, and we're doing all kinds of things, feeling like we're connecting to the body, like maybe working out or eating healthy foods or abstaining from damaging habits. And while all of that is really great, it might not be an authentic connection between mind and body. It could be the mind imposing on the body. And we'll come back to this after a little bit. But again, remember that there are so many reasons for disconnection, and there's no judgment here. We all experience times of less connection or disconnection. It's being asleep to our truth, which is connection. Sometimes culture facilitates that sleep or our disconnection. We develop a dependency on phones and technology. We use our apps to order services that clean and cook and move things for us. And while I'm on board for using tools in a balanced way myself, sometimes our culture can facilitate our sleep, our disconnection from our own abilities in how we're taught to believe about other people and ourselves and what actually may or may not happen. So we begin to awaken to the connection between mind and body. Lots of things can help us to awaken to that. And spiritual things can come along. We study our materials, our sacred texts, and we're told through our reading materials and our study materials that our body is a temple and we need to respect it and treat the body in a way that facilitates health and growth. Sometimes we have a spiritual realization through prayer or meditation. Maybe it's through other spiritual practices like yoga or Tai Chi or other disciplines. We can have physical realizations. For example, an illness or injury can awaken us to feel through our body and to process life that way. It is not uncommon to have the body tap on the door of the mind, trying to get its attention to wake it up. And so over time, that can then become illness or injury when we're separated from our bodies that way. But it doesn't have to be illness or injury that wakes us up. It can be physical practice like sports or exercise or a physical prayer movement type of practice, whatever form that takes for you. The spiritual, the physical, the emotional can wake us up to our bodies. However it happens, we begin to discover that we're meant to be in union with the body, not working against it. When we begin to awaken, we begin the path of self-exploration, which leads to deeper self-awareness. And through self-care and love, self-acceptance takes place. And then as we start to really look at the body, we develop a sense of wonder and we begin to marvel at the gift of the body and all its amazing design. So for example, when you're born with about 300 bones in your body at birth, but over time, your bones begin to fuse together, and then you have 206 bones in the body as adults. And if you take a moment to look at your hand, look down at your hand. Here's the palm, the wrist, the fingers. Your human hand is your wrist, your palm, and your fingers. And the human hand has 27 bones, 27 joints, 34 muscles. We have over 100 ligaments and tendons and many, many, many blood vessels and nerves. Very, very sensitive. We have two types of muscles that make the hand function. One kind of the muscle is in the hand itself, and the other is actually in the forearm, and it makes the hand move. And I was reading an article, and the author said essentially your hands are bony puppets operated from your forearm. And I thought that was really interesting. We often think that we go right into our hand and we make movement there. But a lot of our movements begin in other places in the forearm. The body is a marvel. And if you could take a moment to look down at your feet, let's just tune into the body again. Take a look at your feet. Feet have 26 bones. Feet have 33 joints and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. And your pair of feet have about 250,000 sweat glands with approximately 8,000 nerves in your feet. Hands and feet are incredibly sensitive parts of the body with special skin made just for gripping and walking and special fat tissue for padding and supporting the weight of the body. It's amazing. The body is amazing. Our body is awesome. in all its stages of life, in all its shapes and sizes, forms and textures and colors. The body is awesome, and the body is a sacred gift. The body is a living being in and of itself, and the body has wisdom. And the body is always listening and responding, and the mind's job is to connect to the body and interpret its knowledge to navigate through this world. It's about tuning into the body's wisdom and functioning from there that makes what we do authentic. So, doing healthy, disciplined things from a disconnected place is okay, but it doesn't maximize our connection and our abilities. That's what I was speaking of before. When we have this connection, we think we have this connection with the body, and we're making these choices and we're abstaining from things that are not going to bring about the best. But we're not doing it from this body wisdom place. We're doing it from a mind imposing on the body place. We can still have positive results, but we can't maximize our connection and really maximize our abilities and learn from our body's wisdom. But when we are united with the body's wisdom, mind and the body are working in partnership, we realize that we are actually a steward of the body. We transform and see the body as a temple. And then all of our efforts shift and transform into maintaining the sacredness of the temple. We do not own our bodies or those of each other. The spirit or the soul is the steward of the body. And we begin to see it as a sacred temple housing the spirit, the soul, the life force. To house such a special, powerful, infinite existence requires an equally powerful housing, the sacred temple that is the body. And we were created that way for that purpose. And here's something else I find fascinating. All of life as we know it, including our own bodies, our temples, were conceived in a flash 14 billion years ago, the moment the Big Bang created the universe. Hydrogen and helium were the only elements for a few 100 million years after the Big Bang, but gravity kept drawing them together, drawing them together, drawing them together, and they combined to create galaxies and stars. And the very atoms of life, carbon, oxygen, calcium, iron, are the material of stars. Everything we are is the material of stars. Some stars explode and some stars crash into other stars, but the stars in our galaxy created all 92 elements present right here in life on Earth. The atoms of our bodies, this is Neil deGrasse Tyson, the atoms of our bodies are traceable to stars that manufactured them in the cores and exploded these enriched ingredients across our galaxy billions of years ago. For this reason, we are biologically connected to every other living thing in the world. We are chemically connected to all molecules on Earth. And we are atomically connected to all atoms in the universe. We are not figuratively, but literally stardust. Think about that a moment. Every atom in our bodies developed in the center of a star or from the collision between stars. We are stardust. That first divine cosmic breath at the Big Bang set in motion the creation of all life, including ours, so many billions of years later. That is fascinating. The universe began with a breath. Life on this plane begins with a breath. The word was breath. Breath is life. Our very nature is sacred. Our very nature is sacred. We are spirit. We are infinite love. Our true nature is connection. And we are connected to every living being in the world. As we live and move on this plane, we complete the work of spirit in this world when we connect with and live in our bodies. For the divine is alive within us. We are spirit. We are soul. We are substance. We are source. And when we connect with ourselves as spirit, as source, as divine love, and view and care for our bodies as the temples they are, we can be source in the world. We co-create divine life together here on earth and in the universe. We are the hand of God helping each other, the feet of God walking this earth, tending the soil, protecting the animals, protecting the water, cleansing the air. We are divine life, and our temples were made uniquely for us to be that action, that strength, that patience, that wholeness, that love, that peace, that contentment, that energy, that activity, that rest in the world. And our temples are made to be celebrated, appreciated, cared for, because they're living beings. Our bodies are alive. And yet without us, our bodies don't live. So as we live, we bring life to the temple that we have been granted and trusted with in this life. And that is sacred. And that is sacred. I invite you to join me in meditation. Settle into a comfortable seat. You can stretch a little if you wish. I want to stretch. And as you begin, please keep your eyes open. You can come into your comfortable seat there. That's a little better. And keep your eyes open. Move how you like. My body likes to move my head a little bit to loosen up around my neck and shoulders. Do what feels right for you. But as you come into your seat and you soften and relax the jaw, relax your eyes, keep them open. Take a moment to tune into your breath and quiet your mind, coming back into your body, recreating that connection. And we'll take a trip through the senses. And as you sit in whatever position is comfortable for you, become aware of your surroundings. Look around. Look around at the things. Soften your jaw, don't clench. And as you sit and you're looking around, become aware of and name 5 things you can see. Name 5 things you can see. You're in your own space. You can speak that out loud if you like. 5 things you can see. And now name 4 things you can touch. 4 things you can touch. You can physically reach around and touch them if you like. That can also include the clothing you're wearing, your seat as you're sitting on it, the feet on the floor. 4 things you can touch. And now come into the sense of hearing and identify 3 things you can hear. 3 things you can hear. That can actually be those internal sounds as well. So you may hear sounds in your ears. You may hear your stomach letting you know that it's almost time for some lunch. You may hear all kinds of things. Your heartbeat. It can be things outside of you. You may hear traffic sounds, whatever you hear. Now identify 2 things that you can smell. And finally, 1 thing you can taste. 1 thing you can taste. And then when you're ready, I invite you to close your eyes and we'll go inward. And you can do that practice, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 practice with your eyes closed or open. I thought we would do it today with the eyes open. And then we come into eyes closed if you wish, or you can cast your eyes down. And let's become aware of the temple from the inside. Become aware of your heartbeat. Feel your heart beating from the inside. Become aware of your breath as it flows. Coming into your temple a little deeper, become aware of your bones. Feel the bones in your body. And that can include your teeth. They're considered part of your skeletal system, but they're not considered bones. But for this practice, you can feel your teeth coming into your skeletal system. Feel your bones. And now let's come into the joints. Feel the joints. Feel your toes, your ankles, your knees and hips, the knuckles of your fingers and wrists, your elbows and shoulders. Feel all of the joints all through your spine and your neck. Feel the joints in your body. And let's come into the muscles enveloping and wrapping around the bones, hugging the bones and joints. Let's come into the muscles. And now we'll make our way into the torso, the trunk of the body. Feel the trunk of your body and your organs. Feel your organs. And then we'll shift our focus up into the head. Become aware of your head and the brain. Feel the temple's brain. Feel your brain. And from inside your head, become aware of your eyes and start to shift your eyes side to side. Your eyes are closed. You're just moving your eyes side to side. And from behind your eyes, you're watching what you're doing. And now take your eyes and go up and down. From behind your eyes, let's make big, giant circles with the eyes. And now let's reverse those circles. From behind the eyes, notice your body. Notice your eyes. And now we'll come to a stop with the eyes and squeeze the eyes closed a moment. Put a little pressure there. Use your forehead, your temples, kind of squeeze the eyes closed and then relax. And then squeeze the eyes closed and then relax. And feel your breath as it flows in and out. And embrace your body as a temple, a sacred vessel that is spirit animated. Your body is a sacred temple of spirit animated. Place your hand to your heart and take a moment for gratitude for the gift of this temple. And vow to care for it and appreciate it and value your temple that is your body. And remember to marvel at the many, many wonders of the body. We are stardust. We are spirit. We are a sacred vessel, spirit animated. Thank you for joining me in meditation today.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
In considering our message, our music, our meditation, and all that Sacred Awakenings offers the community that gathers, we ask that you consider a love offering or energy exchange at our website, sacredawakenings.org. Please join me in this blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love, through us, blesses and multiplies all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. May your generosity you share with Sacred Awakenings continue to bless you with divine abundance and prosperity. Thank you.
I invite you to join me for our closing prayer. Divine Beloved, thank you for joining us together today in the many ways we come together. Whether that's live on Zoom this morning, whether that's live on Facebook or later in a video or a podcast. Thank you for bringing us together. And as we do come together, we bring on our hearts and on our minds those prayers and intentions, those people and those ideas we hold dear, and we lay them at your feet, seeking for your divine guidance and assistance. So I'd like to take a moment right now just to go inward and reflect upon those intentions, those prayers that we'd like to call forth, whether those were the ones mentioned before the gathering in the Zoom or whether those are the ones that come later. Take a moment to go inward and hold those prayers and intentions close. And then lay them at the feet of the divine and trust and acknowledge that all will be made right. All will be made clear. And divine, thank you for the temple that is us. When we connect with ourselves as a temple of divine life, we begin to see the body as sacred, with love and appreciation, a signpost for our work to be done, our mental, emotional discernment. When we view the body as a temple, we also see the temples of other beings and co-create the divine life together here on earth and in the universe. We are your hand in the world, O God. We are the divine voice, speaking love and truth in the world. Collectively, we are the body of God in our variety of colors, cultures, shapes, sizes, histories, and promises yet to come. May we know the beauty of our own temple and honor the glory of the collective temple. and in the presence of all love, all holiness. Amin, Aho, Ashe. Amen.
Nicole, thank you so much for your wisdom and insight. John and Lori, the music has been absolutely amazing. Re-listen to this on our podcast or rewatch on YouTube. We also have a Facebook page, and check us out at sacredawakenings.org. May every day bring you sacred awakenings.
This joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. This love I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. This peace I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Oh, this joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it. Can't take it away.
Please feel free to take a moment, stretch your legs perhaps, or grab a beverage, and we will be starting the discussion momentarily.